Welcome back, class. Mr. James here. This is part 2 of our combined lessons of Module 5 Bluebonnet Math, where today we're talking about fractions, unit fractions, shaded parts, and non-shaded parts. This will be the last video we upload just to go ahead and give you an overview of basically what you're missing here in today's virtual school as I go over exactly everything you need to know. All right, so we are taking a look at lesson 9, and I'm just going to dive straight into how we complete lesson 9. So, looking at our very first question here, it says Lila pours 9 cups of lemonade for a picnic. Her family drinks 5/9 of it. What fraction of the lemonade is left? Okay, so in this type of question, we're identifying the non shaded part of the fraction. So, I'm going to identify what's important, which is 5/9 of what we have, and we're looking for what is left. So I'm going to make a model here, and as I make a model, it's going to be easier for you to be able to see exactly how you would solve this question. All right, so I'm going to use a strip, and I'm going to make this into a square. And I'm going to make this into the total number. Again, our fraction here is 5/9. So I'm going to make ninths, which means I'm going to draw 8 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? And it says that her family drank 5/9 of it. So I'm going to partition this into 5. So I'm going to highlight just 5 of these sections here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so here is what was drinking, which is 5/9. Well, how many of those nights were not drunk? Or how many of those nights were left over? Okay, so this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 of the ninths were left. Okay, notice I'm going to put a unit fraction in my strip to show you exactly what I'm doing. 1/9 and then 1/9. Out of those, 4 were left. So you would say my solution statement is that 4/9 of the lemonade was left over. 5 out of 9 of the lemonade were gone. That's how much of the lemonade was particularly taken by the family. All right. So that's how you pretty much do it. You identify the shaded parts and the not shaded parts. Pretty simple. Looking into the next question. Jerome cooks 8 of oatmeal for his family. They eat 7/8 of the oatmeal. What fraction of the oatmeal is uneaten? All right. So again, I'm going to draw a bar model here, or I can use a circle, but in this case, I'm going to draw a rectangle. A rectangle is going to give me a better idea of how I can partition this. So how many total parts is it? So we know our fraction is 7/8. So I'm going to make eighths, which means I'm going to draw 7 lines. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now how many or how much of the oatmeal was eaten? We'll say that 7, it says that 7 of the oatmeals were eaten. So I'm going to shade in 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So now I can go ahead and I can bracket this up to say that 7/8 was eaten. Okay, and how many is left over? How many of the eights are left? 1/8 was not eaten. Okay, so very simple way to show you that we're dealing with the shaded and not shaded parts. And I'm just going to partition this and show you that. So this half is what was eaten. This what was not eaten. How do I know that it's 1/8 by not even drawing a model? Well, you know that our whole will make 8/8, and I can actually draw that here. So this will make 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and 8/8. And when I do that, if I know that 7 plus 1 equals 8, that's how I can quickly tell by using addition. If I add 7 and 1, I would get my whole. And if I know 7 was eaten, clearly I just need one more to know that, okay, there was one of them that was not eaten. All right, and we're going to do one more practice problem. Carlia finished 1/6 of her homework on Saturday. What fraction of her homework has she not finished? Draw and explain. All right, so again, I'm going to draw a bar, a strip here of a fraction. All right, and I'm going to make this into sixths. Why? Because that's my denominator and that's the clue that they gave us. In this problem, I see that they gave us the clue, which was 1/6. So now if I'm going to make 6, I'm going to draw how many lines? 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? I'm going to shade in what she finished. So this is what she finished. How many of the sixth did she finish? She finished 1/6 of it. But how many did she not finish here? So I'm going to bracket this off to say that she did not finish 5 out of the 6 that she needed to finish. And if I count that, I know that this is 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, and 1/6. And if I count those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I can see that out of the 6 whole, 5 of those are not shaded and only 1 is shaded. How do I know? Because 5 plus 1, if you do both of your denominators and add them together, 5 plus 1 will make our whole of 6/6. All right, so that's pretty much how you do these type of problems. You just simply identify the shaded and non-shaded parts to get 2 different fractions. All right, and that will conclude the lesson 8 and 9 combined of Bluebonnet math. Thank you for watching.